Welcome to Spaced Out Radio Element 115, and I'm your host, Lee Strauss. Well, guys, I got something really interesting for you, but first, Tim James is not joining us tonight. It'll be myself and Tina Amador, and she's going to get into consciousness. Not only that, she's had some amazing experiences in her life, and we're going to get into that too. Have you ever heard of a walk-in? Well, tonight, we're going to find out more about what that is. And anyway, let's see who we've got in the house tonight. We have Cosmic Joe Chronicles. We got David Norberg in the house. We've got Kitty Cat Whack. We've got Kathy Evans is here, and Stephen. Welcome to the show, everybody. And I know you all will be popping in here momentarily, but we got a great one for you. I'm going to go ahead and roll the intro, and then we'll bring Tina on in to get into her story. So just hold on to your seats. Make sure you're buckled up. All right. Everybody's got a ticket. So here we go.
Oh, dear Lord, it's these two ass clowns again. Well, now that you're here, you might as well sit down and get comfortable.
Welcome to the dimension of the unknown, where the imagination reigns supreme, crafting worlds and realities that defy the limitations of our mortal coil. Beyond the veil of reality, there exists a realm that defies the boundaries of human perception. Certain places beckon with an otherworldly allure, stirring the senses and whispering secrets of a dimension that lies just beyond the threshold of our mundane existence. The air is alive with an electric anticipation, as if the next step might unravel the very fabric of reality, plunging us into an abyss from which there is no return. This realm is a boundless expanse, as infinite as the cosmos and as timeless as the ages. It inhabits the twilight zones of existence, where the glow of knowledge and the shadows of ignorance entwine like lovers in a cosmic dance. Here, the rational and the mystical converge, suspended between the depths of human terror and the pinnacle of our understanding. Welcome to Element 115.
Welcome back, everybody. And let's bring in Tina. How are you doing?
Hello. Hi.
Welcome to the show, Tina Amador.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we've been talking all week kind of about, just the nature of reality. And it seems to be the hot topic right now. And it seems that you have a very interesting story when it comes to that. And we want to get into it tonight. And I want you to share your story with everybody here. So, what happened with you? Plain and simple.
A long story. We'll make it short. Let's just start with birth. Let's just say I'm a walk-in, and walk-ins agree that they're going to go through almost, if not every lesson in one lifetime. Now, that was me. Let's just start off with when I was in the womb of my mother. She threw herself down a flight of stairs trying to kill me. Before I was 6, she broke my nose several times, cracked my ribs. Her favorite thing was to starve me. You don't starve a cancer. Cancer loves their food. So she locked me in my room, starved me. She stabbed me. She broke my ribs. I mean, she did a lot of abuse. I know, and it's very weird, but her mother didn't do that to her. It's strange. But anyway, going on, when a child is born into severe trauma. It's already picking it up in the womb already.
Yeah.
So the child is already in fight or flight,
Mm-hmm.
right, when it's hatched. So my whole life, I mean, those traumas made more traumas. And if you go back to the Essenes said, give me the boy and I'll show you the man, because they knew you were programmed. Every human being is programmed from the time they are 0 to 7 years of age. Whatever programs you take on, poor little rich kid, no friends, poverty kid, or whatever it is, abuse and
Right.
sexual abuse. My mother did allow men to do things to my sister and I, especially when and yeah,
Yeah.
wasn't ever proven, but everybody knew that her and a Southern Baptist minister helped kill
Yeah.
my father. So it was a big wild ride. And then that
Mhm.
thought that she married the Southern Baptist minister and he legalized our adoption, I guess, so he can make it legal to hurt us, do things to us. I don't know. It was crazy. But then I took on those programs and made more fear programs. I was in fight or flight my whole life. Junior high, high school, just, and I did not do well in high school because my mind was always in survival. Gotta survive, gotta, I was in fear going home every day. So
Yeah.
I took off from home when I was about to turn 14, left home. I was in San Antonio, Texas, and stole my mom, stole a car, and I car broke down in Indianapolis, Indiana, and I just lived underneath a bridge, in and out of shelters, ate out of dumpsters. I mean, I spent my birthday 14. I had turned 14 in a blizzard. And so I had to lie about my age, get a job, went on with life. Every relationship I ever had, everyone hurt me, physically abused me. I'm laughing because I know what it was about now.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, it wasn't funny. It was very scary and horrifying.
Yeah.
So adulthood now, worse relationships. It got worse and worse and worse. It just got really
Right.
bad. Now I'm pregnant. So gave birth, horrible husband. I mean, it's just crazy. I've got so much. It's public record in the state of Louisiana. You can see, you can go, all the court I went through. I mean, my ex-husband took me to court 9 times in 11 months,
Wow.
But so anyway, going on, I collected all these diseases that I was suffering from all the trauma. And these
Yeah.
diseases, huh?
Yeah, I would think that it broke down your immune system, everything that you were dealing with, right?
From the
So
very beginning.
would you say that all of the things that have happened to you broke you down to a point where you had nothing to grasp onto, but maybe, for a better word, God or something like that, to pull you out of where you were and give you this deeper understanding of reality?
When I was 2.5, my father was murdered. My mother married the Southern Baptist minister. He preached God. He made us go to church 3-4 times a week. There was
Yeah.
no God. There was no God. There was no God. Anytime somebody said that word, they better run. I actually punched a few people when I was a child in the throat. I didn't want to hear it. Okay. Which makes sense because everything makes sense now. Amador means the lover of God. So in order to find out who God is, in order to find out what love is, you must find out what it is not. That was my path. And so a lot of people reincarnate, come here to experience love. Now, cancers, I'm a cancer. Cancers spend most of the time trying to figure out why they have unacquitted love. they spend most of the time just trying to figure out why they can't get love, why they give till they're depleted. They give their money, they give their house, they give their home, they give their body. They give everything. So there was no God. To me, you didn't say that word.
Right.
So I came out of my mother's womb already a diabetic type 1. So on top of all that fear and stuff that I was going through, I'm also 500 is my sugar, 600 was my sugar my whole life. That's coma territory. But I was always on the run. I had to go, I had to survive, I had to find food. And thank God back then, I don't know about now, but thank God back then, I mean, I'm in my mid-50s. I'll be 54 next month. And thank God McDonald's put their food in a clean trash bag, not with the garbage.
Yeah.
I don't know if they still do that. But back when I was 14, they did that. So it was pretty rough. But I always managed to find someone that helped me, and then they helped themselves. So it was just trauma after trauma. It was it was just hell. I didn't understand why God would do this to a child. And so by the time I was in my late 20s, I had neuropathy in my feet. You don't get that until you're like in your 40s. But by the time I was in my early 30s, I had neuropathy and fibro in my whole body. I had it in my eyes, in my teeth, in my hair, in my skin, clothing, everything just hurt. It was literally like being fried, like fried eggs from the inside out and from the outside in. I was bedridden. I couldn't walk. I was literally in diapers because my organs shut down. Then I was bedridden. They disabled me in 2012. I didn't get disability to 2014. I was almost already dead. So all the doctors couldn't help me. So I moved to Mississippi to die. I said, well, if I'm going to die by the ocean, I might as well just enjoy the view. So that's what I did. I mean, I'm tough. Oh God, I am so tough. I'm Gen X. We're Gen Xers. Yeah, we're the toughest. Ooh, but anyway.
But look at you now. I mean, you look fantastic. You sound fantastic.
Thank
right?
you. Yeah.
So something happened.
Yeah, I'm right there. So I go to Mississippi. I rent a room out of this house. It looks like an old witch's house, which is, by the way, I was a witch in past life twice and got burned at the stake, which is why cats follow me everywhere. Everywhere I move to, a cat adopts me. Like there's a cat right now sleeping on my threshold. And they're mostly black. So anyway, so I decided I was going to end my life. I couldn't do it anymore. I tried many times. My first time, I was 6 years old, then 9, then 11, then 15, then 18, then 21. And it was a miracle that would happen. That literally, like, how do you have a miracle when you shoot yourself with a revolver and you leave one blank? No, not one bullet. I left one blank. I did it in this kid's house, and I did it because I didn't like him, and I was gonna piss him off, and I was gonna blow myself away and let him deal with his father. Let his father find. I get the one cartridge that was empty, and his father walks through the door. We throw the gun down, and I'm like, "What in the world? How does that happen?" And then there's a lot of other stories that I can tell you about the miracles. So I decided I was going to blow my brains out, and there was no miracle. Well, there was. It was very strange. It was, it was a Kimber. I love my gun. I used to love my guns. I don't need them anymore. It was a Kimber, hollow points, the best hollow points. So I remember picking it up. I just got out of the hospital. And the guy I was renting the room from, he was a jerk. He let his kids in the house ransack my room, steal my stuff, and slash my artwork, which, by the way, I am a fantastic artist. And that's
Is
not
that some of your art behind you there?
oh
Behind
yes,
you? Yep.
oh yes, oh yes. I do painting, sculpting, carving, I do sacred geometry. I do it a lot. So something happened, and it's called, what it happened was I just finished going to the last doctor. She said, I can't help you. I said, that's okay. So I planned it already in the truck. Yeah, it was his truck. I borrowed his truck. I was going to leave a mess. I know that sounds horrible. That sounds really horrible. But
that's rough.
but that didn't happen. But what happened was, it was strange. I was sitting in the truck and I was crying and I was screaming because I didn't want to go. I'm an artist. I had so much to give. I hadn't even found anybody to love me yet.
Yeah.
So next thing I know, I pull the trigger. I go in blackness, literally go in blackness. I feel this heat come up from my feet all the way up, all the way to my head. And I'm like, whoa. Well, I didn't know then that that was a Kundalini.
Yeah.
That was literally a Kundalini awakening. And understand, I was in pain, a lot of pain. I was suffering for over 22 years. I was in a walker. I was in a wheelchair. And if you look on my Facebook, a week before that walk-in, I was asking for a wheelchair because I wanted to go to my last heavy metal concert. But so Kundalini awakening happened. I go out in the universe. And it was the most beautiful thing.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It was warm, but yet it was cool. It was dry, but yet it was like moisture, but it was dry. And then I could literally hear boom, boom, boom. It was the heartbeat of the universe. The universe has a heartbeat. Now, nobody knew this, not that I know of, but they know now because the new science has proven this.
Yes.
So I am out there hearing and loving the universe, and God was showing me everything. The world, the earth was like this, and then it got smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller as I went away. And I was like in heaven. I was in bliss. It was like an invisible hand was holding me, and my head was dangling in my legs. What?
Oh, nothing. I've experienced something similar, so keep going.
It was amazing. And so I'm like, oh yes, there is a God. But it was like there was no words like you and I. It was all energy. It's just energy.
Right.
And so God universe was showing me everything that was going to come. 2020, the vax was going to be the beginning of the corruption. The beginning of the corruption in all the world leaders. And so it showed me all the earthquakes, the volcanoes, all of it, the consciousness on the planet, and was showing me all of this as I was going to teach, but I'm gone. And I'm not like how we are now. It was like all a dream. It was like a mysterious, mystical dream. Then the next thing I know, I'm going back to Earth. Earth went from small to big, big, big. I'm like, no. Don't put me back there. The next thing I know, I'm like, please don't put me back there. Because I remember just doing this. Like,
trying to back pedal.
I was kind of crawfish. So I'm coming back and I wake up in the truck. But the thing is, I'm back at the house. I didn't drive. No, I didn't drive. I'm back at the house. I'm sitting in the truck, and 85% of the pain was gone.
So I'm wondering, Now, there's this theory that says that we can shift from one lifetime to another, right? So that we actually don't pass away until, it happens, we may pass away in one life, time, but not in the current one that we're in, right? So it's possible that we jump from timeline to timeline to timeline to live out our full lives.
We're jumping timelines right now.
Mm-hmm.
We're all jumping timelines. Gaia is jumping timelines. That's why all this is happening.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to happen in 2020, so I was already posting videos out there and telling people on Facebook what was coming. I didn't realize it was, 5 years down the road. But as far as what you're saying, like literally dying in this world.
Yeah, in one life, in one reality, but you're then moved to another reality to continue out your lifespan.
Oh, okay.
So
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so that you keep whatever you were sent here to do, you're going to continue to learn that until you pass away from old age, right? Or natural death.
Until well, ever since the walk-in, my eyes tear. Sorry. So yeah, they just tear. Yes, that's called jumping timelines. Everybody can do this. In fact, the way you do this is through heart coherence, where you get your mind, your thoughts, that monkey, that negative thought that comes, and another thought comes after that, another negative thought, now another. Now you told yourself a freaking story that never happened, and you're just like, and you're giving it your emotion. Your emotions are what manifests. You put out fear, you get fear back. Everything I know was downloaded to me at walk-in. So when I got out of that truck, I went to sleep. I was like, magic's real. I was jumping up and down, running around. I could walk without a cane. I was like, magic's real. And then all of a sudden, I just went to sleep, just boom. Then that's when the walk-in happened. Because when I woke up, I was literally downloaded with premonitions and visions and the knowing. But I'm a Cancer. Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces are highly intuitive, psychic. And just because you're not one of those as a sun, your rising or your moon sign can be that. So everyone on this planet is psychic to a certain point. Your pineal gland is your third eye, has been calcified through all the toxins, through all the food, through all the mind corruption. We have been as slave since Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
Adam and Eve was the first lie, because Eve wasn't even Adam's first wife. It was Lilith. But when you Google and you do all that, I've noticed throughout the years, they manipulate the answer. And it's like, no, the truth has been mixed up and turned around.
Yeah. And I do think that, and I do agree with you. I do think that happens. Just like I'll say, with certain things where one thing, so many people believe that this one thing is real, right? And then it turns out to be not real. It almost seems like the timeline continues to change and shift. And it never seems to be stagnant. It's not. It's forever morphing and changing. For what reason, right? Too, as well, right? So it's almost as if each individual person has their own map to follow through their own timeline to get to where they're going, right?
Yep. And
astrology, it's still in the collective, which is it just blows my mind away.
Exactly. But here's the thing also, there are so many tools on this planet within the human itself They just haven't found the tools yet. But astrology is a major tool. It's a GPS for your own personal soul. Nobody ever had it in the past, and nobody ever will have it. Only you. And that is a personal GPS from God, source, divine, whatever you want to call it, to help you navigate this world. Now, in that walk-in, I saw my old soul leave. And then the new one walked in. And when the new one walked in, it was boom, boom, boom. Data went from information to knowledge to wisdom, just like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And in fact, I've talked to other people that have like passed away, on the hospital bed or whatever the case may be. And they come back. And right as they come back, they have all this knowledge. Like, it's just like, holy crud. It's like I have the understanding of the universe. But the problem is they say it fades away very quickly. And they lose all the knowledge that they've gained. Like all the, once they passed away, they had all this knowledge, right? And when they are put back in, all that knowledge all of a sudden is just going away.
Well, here's the thing, what I know. My eyes tear, like I said. Ever since the walk-in, they just tear. Everything that is in, like, the thoughts, knowledge, wisdom, I don't think it goes away. It kind of like, it's in the grid. It's in the grid. And
we don't have connection to it like we did.
Everyone's connected to it.
Yes, but we lose the understanding of how to grab it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
and
but that's coming on board now.
That is correct. I believe you're right. I believe more and more so that our consciousness is awaking to the point where we can freely grab that or more freely grab that information than we were able to before.
And it's so easy. I don't know if you ever heard of Dolores Cannon. She's dead now.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Dolores Cannon said there was 3 waves. The first wave, I do know, I think it, was 60s, in the 60s. You notice how in the 60s, everybody's like, oh, free love, love. They kind of overdid it. Yeah. And they made it into a sexual thing. It was never about sex. So now the second wave is waking up. And well, we had to go. Like, I literally was living in the woods. No friends, well, I haven't seen my family since I ran away from home at 13 and a half. So I was learning everything through YouTube. Because after the walk-in, and I was downloaded with all this that was coming all the way up to 2028. I can't see past that. I can't see past 2030. And remote viewers, even our own government, got their own remote viewing little branch in the military after they found out Hitler had his. So they are like, well, we're going to do it too. That's all it is. But anyway, so a lot of people who can remote view can't see past 2030 because what's happening on the planet right now has never, ever happened. This is where, huh?
You were bringing up a point about Dolores Cannon and the 3 waves. Since I kind of read one of her books, I'm wondering if you can't touch on that a little bit more, because I think it's poignant.
You think it's what?
Poignant. I think it's important. Yeah.
All right. Well, Dolores Cannon, she was a hypnotherapist. And what little I know, because I don't read books. I just don't learn that way. I'm an artist. I'm
right, brain.
I'm way out there. Okay. So if I want to know something, I just channel it. I'm a channeler. We're all channelers, but most people don't know it. But when you do know it and you're aware and you catch on and you grab that knowledge and that ability, you can do it. It takes practice, but you can do it. And channeling is like, how many times did you go, man, I knew I should have went down that way. I knew it. That channeling. That's all. Your intuition, your channeling, your spirit was saying, "Hey, you missed a turn." But no, the human's like, "No, I'll do it my way." Oh, I messed up. Okay, I knew I should have done it. There's no sense beating yourself up. So Dolores Cannon was a hypnotherapist, and she literally said she put thousands of people under, and she said all of them had the same story. I came here to be of service, to help humanity for right now. Right now. We're in it. And there's no such thing as fear. There's no such thing as fear. I had that beat.
Not real fear, right?
No.
It's the fear that we put in ourselves, right? In the unknown, because that's what we're scared of, is the unknown.
And not only that, I mean, I see. Yes, yes, I see what you're saying. We are programmed into fear from the time we're born. And there's no such thing as fear. If you can just, there's so many tools and so many ways and so many abilities that people don't even know. It's free access for them. And they're all being lit up. This is how I saw it when I had to walk in. I knew the volcanoes and the big lands going into the ocean, Atlantis coming out, lots of land going in and out. There's going to be like miraculous healings from the freaking bacteria in the ocean. There's going to be like several species that were extinct. I don't know about that, but I mean, it's happening already. Species that have been extinct for thousands of years are coming back. Some of
genetic cloning and that sort of thing. I imagine that's a lot of that.
But there is going, I mean, I was telling people 8-9 years ago, there's going to be flying planes, and UK already has the airport for their own flying plane. I'm not planes, flying cars. Cars. Yeah, they're going to be flying cars. There's already a plane made out of hemp. It's I had a video on. Yes, that's what I said. I was like,
what? About flying high.
That's good. I like that. That's a good one.
Oh boy.
So yeah, it's already been out, advertised. It's got a big marijuana leaf on it. But there's gonna be so many miraculous. The video I put out on Facebook on January 5th, I said, this is going to be the wildest and crazy year of your life. Now, this is going to go into the next 12 months. The craziness. Yes, it's going to get volatile. Yes, a lot of people are going to check out. Yes, but it's on their own path. They're all on their own path. We all agreed to come here and play the part. Who was it? Shakespeare said the whole world's a play, and we are all parts of the play. We have our own part to play. How do you want to play your part? You make everything. You make your life the way you want it. And people say, oh, how you can do that? I said, if I can come back from the dead and walk, hello, you can do it too.
Yeah, well, I believe you're correct. I think that we all have the ability to change our own reality, and maybe not like a complete reality shift, but within reason, right?
Well, it all starts right here.
Yeah.
It starts with, do you want to do the same thing you've been doing? What was it? That karmic hamster wheel? The hamster that's going around and around and around and around. I mean, you got to get off sooner or later, because what we're doing it over and over and over, that's the definition of insanity, as Einstein said.
But isn't that what humanity has been doing for so many thousands of years?
Yes, now it's
going through this death and rebirth of and here we are in what, like, some people believe, like the fourth time that we've gone around.
Oh yeah, like the reset, big cosmic reset. We're headed to there. I mean, we're already in it. But because humanity, okay, this I know I told you this already, but your viewers don't know. This, what's happening on this planet right now, is the most beautiful thing. And I don't mean war, and I don't mean all the people checking out, and I don't mean all the volcanoes. I mean humanity. This is the first time our planet has ever had consciousness raise itself in the vessel. In the vessel, while being in the human body. We're raising consciousness. And so all the planet needed, all Gaia needed, was 1% to do that. We passed that. We passed 1%. We're all going, we're all elevating into higher conscious realms. You're going to start seeing the babies in 2020, they're prodigies. A lot of them are. You're going to start seeing a lot more people having phenomena, psychic abilities, premonitions, visions, seers, shamans, mystics, all coming out of the woodwork. Now, here's the most important thing, though. A lot of people are going to lose their jobs. We already know this. But it's for their own good. How long has humanity been in prison? Since Adam and Eve. Okay.
Yes, I agree that there's been, we're basically slaves to the system.
We are, but they don't even know it. They don't even know it. It's like taking a wild elephant out of the jungle, putting shackles on it, taking it into America. You're in the zoo now. Leave it shackled for a month. Take the shackles out. It's now every generation that elephant has already is shackled in here. And so that is exactly what's happening. Humanity is being set free, and they don't know what to do because they've been a prisoner for so many eons.
Maybe that's why so many new laws are being enacted to try to crack down and try to corral us even tighter, because we are starting to break free. I mean, here in the news, within the past 2 months, they're talking about consciousness. All these scientists are coming forward talking about consciousness now. And, it's amazing to see happen. I listened to Joe Rogan, and I don't know how many different podcasts I listened to during the week, but lots. And there's all these people coming forward talking about consciousness. We're starting to wake up, and it is amazing.
It is, because they're being set free. Now, in 2020, I said, y'all need to stop fighting. They're changing all the laws. And the reason why the corona thing came out, I knew about it in 2014, 14, 15, 16. So yeah, I'm trying to go back and see where I was at that time. But a lot of us knew it already. It was already pre-planned, because they wanted to change all the laws out from underneath us to make all this happen since 2020. The only way they could do that, which when I had those downloads, the universe, God, told me that the planet was going to have to stop. And I was like, how are you going to make every human being on this planet stop? That was weird. And then that's when it's 2 years prior to 2020. I was like, oh, and I went back and checked it on my Facebook, and it's still there. So I was telling everybody for 2 years prior to that, this is what's going to happen. You need to pay attention and don't buy into the fear. But everybody's running around with, the sky is falling, the sky is falling. And it's so easy to change, to manipulate you if you're in fear. So
yes,
they didn't try. They didn't even have to try. Everybody fell for it. And I'm skipping through Walmart going, with no mask. And it It was just
Well, yeah, and what's the new thing now? They're trying to put fear in us about nuclear weapons, and this sort of thing again. It seems like the same old playbook coming back to put us in fear, because once we're in fear, we close off.
what
We're
humanity has
not.
had enough.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yep. So the next thing I said was they're going to fake an alien invasion. Now, the timeline for that was last year. Oh, wait a minute. That's right. Because I told my daughter, I told a lot of people in 2023, look to the sky. You're going to start seeing a lot of freaky stuff. Aurora borealis, UFOs. But I don't want to say the word, but they're going to fake they're going to make a fake alien invasion.
There's been talk of that. There's been talk of that. Mhm.
They're going to blow up our own planes and, dummies and dummy planes and dummy military trucks and boom, oh, it's real, whatever. And I also said, by the time 2025 comes, you're not going to be able to determine what's real and what's not.
Well,
And
we're
that,
seeing that right now. We've
oh,
been
wait
seeing
till
that for the past year with AI, right? So,
oh, you haven't seen anything yet. Wait till next
I
year.
know. Yeah.
Next year. Oh God. Yeah. So it's going to be very, very interesting. It's already been a wild, wild ride. And what I do now is, thank you, by the way, you actually lit a fire under me to go back to my YouTube channel, try to learn technology, because I don't know anything about technology. My friend Stephanie, she helped me with the chat thing, GB, whatever. I always thought GBT was like gay and lesbian thing. I don't know. I didn't know what it was. I did. I was like, I don't want that on my phone. I don't have any problem with gay. One of my good friends is lesbian.
Yeah. Anyway.
But I was like, no, I don't want a whole bunch of women hitting on me. And so I was like, okay, well, I don't have a problem with, people, but I didn't understand it because I don't understand technology. So now,
But you do have a YouTube channel, right?
Pardon?
You do have a YouTube channel.
Yes. Yes. I just went back, changed the name, refreshened it up, and I'm going to get back to work because the world needs us. The world needs you. The world needs me. And the world needs all of the people that are on here right now. They're waking up and they know the truth. They're trying to find the truth. And since I do astrology, I literally help people. My friend Stephanie and I just encountered this woman. Yesterday, we were walking in the mall trying to get her some shoes. And this woman, we looked at her license plate and it said Elohim, but she didn't even know. It was spelled Aaolim or something like that. And I asked her, did you do that on purpose? And the lady goes, no. And then she was like, wait. Why did you ask me? And she looked crazy. And I was like, oh, okay. And she was like, why did you ask me? Please don't leave. I want to talk to you. And I was like, okay. And Stephanie and I were looking at each other and I said, she's waking up. She's freaking out. She was bawling in tears. And so, because we're messengers, you're a messenger. I'm a messenger. We know this. Every single human being on this planet is a messenger. If they choose to.
Yeah. So do you think that the people that are awake right now form some sort of a grid pattern across the planet? And because there's those people there and we're all connected in a way, do you think we start lighting up other people around the planet and then it becomes more and more and more? And eventually we'll have like a critical mass of people that are waking up?
The way I saw it when I was out there in the abyss, the whole world is an energetic grid. And I saw all the PowerPoints, the ley lines, everything, every blade of grass, every piece of dirt, every drop of the ocean, every human being, every animal, everything on this planet is connected in the invisible grid.
Mhm.
We are all connected, which is why telekinesis, telepathy, seers, are all being lit up. We're being lit up. We're being lit. The 24th chromosome is on. It's back into connection. Now that junk DNA, they said it's junk. Oh God. No, that's your psychic abilities. That's who you are.
Mhm.
It is amazing. So that 24th chromosome, we can go into that. I could talk about subconsciousness for years, but
Okay.
it's being lit up.
So, with all the activity that we've had on the sun lately, because we've talked about this a little bit off the show, all the activity with the sun right now, and its X flares and its M flares and this flare and that flare and all this, but it seems like the ones that are hitting, bombarding our planet, are causing more disruption in our global magnetic field, right? And we're having a lot more earthquakes, we're having a lot more volcanic activity, and we're also having people, yes, wake up, but we are also dealing with more war currently. You think that's all entwined?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Because one, we had the ice age, we had the flood. Humanity has literally destroyed themselves so many times.
We also had, big asteroid hit the planet too. I mean, several, in fact.
And now it's time for another reset. But the thing is, with all this going on, the consciousness, which has never happened, is raising itself in the vessel and the planet at the same time. But at the same time, you cannot build a new building. You tear down the building.
Mhm.
Well, guess what? The foundation, it's got to go too. You cannot build a new building on an old cracked foundation.
Yeah. Mhm.
So we're starting over by scratch. Humanity is not going to be wiped out, but it's hard to say. But I do know a lot of people are going to leave. But what they don't understand, a lot of them don't understand, is we all agreed to be here. You agreed to play the part of Lee Strauss. You picked your mother, you picked your father, you picked your teachers, you picked your siblings, you picked your wife, you picked your whatever, your kids, everything. We all did this. There's not a lot of people that believe this, and that's okay. They will. I promise you. I put that in my video too.
Yeah, and I think Dolores Cannon gets into that as well.
Oh, yes. Yes,
Mhm.
yes. And so it's gonna be a really big hole. It's gonna be very exciting and scary for a lot of people. And that's where we hold space. Your listeners hold space, because this is exactly how you save the world. You don't go saving your neighbor or it's like being on an airplane. You put on your mask first before you put it on your child. Because if you're wasting time putting it on the kid, you're dead.
Yeah,
So
you're gonna pass out, right?
yes. So what humanity has got to do, you come first. Tina comes first. And what I mean by that is heal your traumas, heal your issues, start a spiritual regimen first thing in the morning. This is how you quiet the mind. This is how you find where you can stop all those intrusive thoughts that keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going. You literally control your own thoughts. It just takes a couple of days of meditation. Yoga is not just yoga. Yoga is, oh my God, that Tai Chi, yoga, Tai Chi, EFT tapping, so many, oh my God,
Meditations and
meditation is a must. So what I do, first thing I do when I wake up, I do my breathing techniques. Then I meditate for a minute, and then I fast. I only eat once a day, but I eat a lot. Look, I got kicked out of 2 Chinese buffets. She said, "You eat too much. You go." Yeah, I had like 9 plates, and I don't waste food. And I only weigh 125. So anyway, it's very important. If you want to help the world and you want to save the world, you have to do you first. Heal you. And as you heal you, you're healing future bloodlines and your past ancestors' bloodline.
You're touching on something here that I kind of want to talk about for a quick second or say, because we are all connected, you healing you also helps your neighbor, and so on and so forth, and on and on and on and on down the line, down the chain, right?
Yes. And
because we are so interlinked.
Yes. And it's already been proven.
We're all part of the whole, right?
Yes. And it's about to get really crazy and interesting. So, yes, your viewers, everybody you talk to, tell them they got to heal themselves. And they're like, where do I start? Start anywhere. But I'll tell you right now. Okay, this is very important. I'm a channeler, so I'm channeling this right now. When you heal yourself, this is very important, because what's coming, it's going to get worse. You have to. We were supposed to look at our stuff in 2020. We were supposed to look at it, get rid of it. By 2022, if you didn't get rid of it, alcoholism, whatever, addictions, the horrible marriage or whatever, it's only going to get worse. And it's only going to get worse, and it's only get worse. Those people that are holding on to the drug addictions, alcohol addictions, or whatever, it's only going to get worse for them. So the thing is that we are all shifting timelines, including Gaia. And I've lost that thought. Darn, I waited too long for that one. But it is what it is, and that's how you heal the world, pretty much. God, I lost that thought, and it was very important.
Maybe this will help. Have you ever heard of the term the New Earth?
Oh, it's already built. Okay. The New Earth is not us leaving this planet and hopping on another one.
Right.
A lot of people think that. It's already being built, only they can't see it because they're not in that timeline. Those people that can't see it are not in that timeline. They're not there. In fact, all the people that are in hate and violence and all that, we're jumping timelines. We're jumping timelines together on the planet, everything else. Those hateful people are just going to disappear. And then you're going to be like, what happened? What happened to Joe over there? We don't know.
Yeah. So sort of like those individuals will stay back, right?
They'll go wherever it is they got to go.
Yeah. Well, they'll stay back. And so the people that are, I don't know if you want to call them connected or awake or not the word chosen, because I don't believe that. I think we're all chosen.
We're all chosen.
Yeah, exactly. So there's got to be a better term for it, but some people will move forward into what's called the New Earth, where others will stay back in the other reality.
It's already being built. And what's happening is, this is part of that important thing I wanted to say, is that we're having to let go of what we thought was our reality. Oh, I did post that at the beginning of the year. By the end of 2025, your reality that you thought was yours will no longer be. And I posted that, and it's happening because the thing is, it has to happen. we have to let go of that corporate job. No, we have to, we've been married for 30 years. We got kids. We're going to lose money. We can't separate because of the money. Are you kidding me? You're asking for hell, more hell. So we're going to start building our own communities. We have to. We're going back to the way it was. Trading. I'm already doing it. I'm already seeing it. You have to see it. But in here, you know that saying, oh, I'll believe it when I see it. That's the problem. You have to see it, feel it, know it, believe it, and then it comes in. That's how you manifest. That's also called that law of attraction they sell books for or whatever.
Yeah.
You're going to see a lot of spiritual teachers fall. I'm already seeing them. They're falling because they're not walking their talk. They know how to manipulate the energy. They know how to manifest, and they're using it for negative. So
for their own self.
Yes, it's not going to last.
Right.
Because the world has been in that energy with spiritual leaders lying, raping little girls and little boys and doing all their thing while they're spiritual.
We're not going to talk about that kind of stuff here, though.
Sorry.
Anyway, we are about 5 minutes away from the end of the show, 4 minutes now. I do want to say thank you very much for coming on, Tina. How could people reach out to you? Through Facebook, through your YouTube channel? How would people?
My friend, she taught me how to copy and paste them. Okay. So I can send you those links. It's but I'm on Facebook as Tina Amador.
Yeah.
And I'll send you that link. And I have a email also, if that's okay to put on here.
Yeah, you can say it if you want.
All right. It's amadortina474@gmail.com. And so I help people.
You do. In fact, you do get personal readings, or not necessarily readings, but you look at their
I do tarot too.
Okay.
But I do astrology, and astrology is beautiful because it shows you where your issues are, your money blocks, your love blocks, all of that. I mean, it shows you everything. And then you can get your progress chart as well. And so I help people understand that as about their life and the trauma. Healing the trauma is the must. So, yeah.
All right. I thank you very much for coming on. Really appreciate you being here. You had said something to me earlier today that blew my socks off, actually, and we'll talk about that later, because it seemed like you just reached into my soul and pulled something out. It kind of freaked me out for a minute, but anyway, we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Anyway, so we got Dave Scott up next, and I will be there in the 11 o'clock hour for you all doing the Q&A. Don't forget, guys and everybody, to get on spacedoutradio.com and get yourself some Spaced Out Radio gear. Thank you very much for being here, and we're going to go ahead and hit the outro right now. Later.